Alright, let's break down what just happened with the Raiders, because holy smokes, this isn't just a story about a penalty. This is about how one split-second decision can unravel an entire season. Imagine being 2 points away from a finals spot, staring at the scoreboard in the dying minutes, and then, boom, your teammate makes a choice so baffling it feels like the universe itself is trolling you. That's where the Raiders are right now, thanks to Corey Horsburgh's brain explosion, as Coach Ricky Stuart so eloquently put it. But wait, before we crucify the guy, let's actually unpack why this moment matters way more than most sports pundits are letting on. So here's the setup. The Raiders are clinging to a fading finals hope, right? Final minutes of the game, they're down by 2. Horsburgh has a chance to level the score, but instead of playing the ball, he slaps Dane Gagai in the face. A slap. In the face. In 2026. Let that sink in. This isn't just a mistake, it's a throwback to the days when rugby league looked more like a bar fight than a sport. And Stuart? He's livid, calling it a brain explosion. But here's what fascinates me. Why does this feel so shocking now? Because we've been conditioned to think players are professionals who've moved past this stuff. But clearly they haven't. And maybe that's the real story here. Let's zoom out for a second. This isn't just about Horsburgh. It's about the pressure cooker of modern sports. These athletes aren't just playing for points. They're battling invisible forces. Legacy, financial stakes, social media scrutiny. Horsburgh's slap? That's the sound of a human breaking under that pressure. And yet, we act surprised? Personally, I think this exposes a lie we tell ourselves about elite athletes being machines. They're not. They're people, and moments like this remind us that even at the highest level, emotions can hijack logic in a millisecond. But does that excuse it? Absolutely not. Because here's the kicker. In a hyper-analytical era where coaches dissect every play, why are we still seeing decisions this reckless? That's the paradox. Now let's talk about the ref's call, or rather, the bunkers flip-flopping. First, they give Canberra a penalty. Then, after Kalen Ponga loses his mind arguing, they reverse it. This isn't just inconsistent, it's a systemic problem. The bunker's job is to eliminate controversy, but all they're doing is creating a choose-your-own-adventure scenario. And from my perspective, this isn't just bad officiating, it's a symptom of a sport struggling to balance tradition with technology. Because here's the thing, if the rules are clear, why does every incident require 5 minutes of deliberation? If high contact is a penalty, why was Horsburgh even on the field in the first place? This isn't complicated, unless the rules are designed to be confusing. But let's circle back to Ricky Stuart, because his reaction is gold. He calls it a brain explosion, then immediately softens it by praising the rest of the team. Classic leadership move, right? Protect the culture while burning the individual. But here's the deeper issue. He admits this exact thing happened earlier in the year with Alex Twal. So it's not a one-off mistake, it's a pattern. And that's terrifying for Raiders fans. Because if you've got multiple players repeatedly making undisciplined decisions, you're not just dealing with individual errors. You're dealing with a cultural rot. And that's way harder to fix than one bad tackle. What's wild to me is how this single play encapsulates the fragility of sports dreams. For games left in the season, 12th on the table, a team built on grit, undone by a slap. But here's the twist. This could be the best thing for the Raiders long-term. Because sometimes, a season-ending collapse is the only way to purge the rot. Stuart even hints at this when he says he'll rest ours and play young guys next week. Translation: the rebuild starts now. And maybe Horsburgh's slap isn't just a mistake, it's the catalyst for a total culture reset. That's the irony here. The brain explosion that killed their finals hopes might be the spark that ignites their future. So, where does this leave us? With a lot of questions. About officiating. About player psychology. About how we judge mistakes. But here's my final thought. This moment is a mirror. It reflects how we, as fans, crave perfection from flawed humans. We want our athletes to be warriors and saints, but they're neither. They're just people, trying to navigate pressure we can't imagine. And maybe that's what makes sports so beautiful and so heartbreaking. Because in the end, it's not about the finals. It's about the slap that reminded us all how fragile everything really is. What's your take? Did Horsburgh deserve the hate, or is this just the price of passion? Let me know in the comments.